It looks ominous, murderous, dangerous, not to mention kind of scary. But it had a very important job on the railroad. What you're looking at here is all about this: snow and what to do with it. Move it off the tracks. What's behind me is Northern Pacific Rotary Snow Plow number 2. Think of it as a huge big snow blower, kind of like you do to clean your driveway. If your driveway was 15 feet wide and covered in about 20 feet of snow, then you'd need something like this. That pretty much was the situation out in the Cascade Mountains, and that's why the Northern Pacific bought this particular rotary snowplow back in 1887. The rotary was an idea from 1869, and it was invented by, of all people, a dentist from Toronto, Canada, a guy by the name of J.W. Elliott. He never really built one, he just came up with the idea. A guy by the name of Orange Jewel. Now there's a name you're never going to forget because there's nothing to rhyme with orange. Orange Jewel took the design of Mr. Elliott, the dentist, and turned it into a working model. He built the first ones with the help of the Leslie brothers, and they tested it in 1883 and 1884, which was a particularly wintry time in Canada, which is where all these people live. Well, that makes sense. Canada, snow, rotary snowplow. The Leslie brothers sold their design to the Cook Manufacturing Company in America. They became Elco, and as I said, they built this particular rotary in Paterson, New Jersey in 1887, and it saw service up in the Cascade Mountains for many years, was retired to Cadillac, Michigan of all places, and then it came to the Shakespeare Railroad Museum. Came here on 2 flat cars, and we put it back together, restored it, and you know what? It's got national significance. Inside here is a steam locomotive. That's what powered the huge rotary, a steam engine, just like a steam engine locomotive, only inside this box is where it was. And instead of making the wheels go around like this, through a gearing mechanism, it made the rotary plow go like this and shoot the snow out the top. This is the oldest preserved steam-powered rotary snowplow in existence, NP number 2. And that's why in 2015, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers declared this to be a historic mechanical engineering landmark, giving it historic significance that it earned through its survival. This is the tender for the number 2 snowplow. If you have a steam engine up there powering the plow, well, you need something to carry the water and coal, and that's why it had a tender. Of course, the steam engine in the plow wouldn't move it, it was just to make the rotor go and throw the snow. Still had another locomotive back here to propel it forward and into the snowbanks. This restoration project began when the whole unit came here, but at Shakespeare Railroad Museum, restoration work is never really done. Take this hunk of wood right here. We just put this on recently because the other one had rotted off. You know how hard it is to find a hunk of wood this size these days? Specially processed and found and put on by our volunteers. The restoration work continues on even these old artifacts. Now let's move over here and take a look at a different kind of snowplow. Something like the rotary that we just saw, that's great up for the mountains and the Cascades where the snow fills into the cuts. This was something that was used more on the open roads, kind of the flatlands. This you find more in the Dakotas in Montana or western Minnesota, Wisconsin. These were Russell snowplows, and they were meant to go fast, clear snow away from the tracks. This, by the way, is called the tongue. On the side were wings that went out 15 feet, so it would kind of fly down the snow-covered tracks, clearing what was in the middle, and then pushing it off to the side. They could actually clear 4 tracks in a row if they were all close to each other. But this thing had to go fast, about 35, 40, 45, and sometimes 50 miles an hour in order to get its work done. This particular plow is called a Russell snowplow because it was made by the Russell Car and Snowplow Company. This one manufactured in 1907, and again for the Northern Pacific Railway. Northern Pacific, well, the Northern would tell you why they needed both rotary and flatland snowplows, because they went all the way from the Midwest through the Cascade Mountains to the West Coast. So they had to have all these kinds of snowplows at their ready. And that is why this one was preserved, came here, it's the number 19, and it's been in the collection, one of the longest pieces on the property. Now, what do we use today? Well, let me show you that. Take a look at this video. What you're seeing here is the modern day equivalent of the Russell snowplow. It's called a Jordan spreader. It's got the tongue in the middle, the wings just like the Russell.
but it's a modern day equivalent of that, and the railroads use it to clear snow in almost all situations, even in the high elevations. Although interestingly enough, some of these historic rotary plows were actually converted from steam to electricity to diesel, and some of them are still working today up in Donner Pass, for instance, on the Union Pacific and other railroads. Now, some engines also have little plows in front of them too, and that handles most of the day-to-day plow operations for all railroads. You just keep that engine running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Try to stay ahead of the weather. Now, try to stay ahead of this situation we're in today by washing your hands, covering your mouth when you cough, don't touch your face, keep that social distance, and as we all know, we have to take care of each other.